Welcome once again. This is News at 10. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and in a short while we will be having Mugalu Mohammed join us there on sign language. Starting off with the Presidential Press Unit, President Museveni has today received an update on the development of Bukasa Inland Port. The president received the status report during a meeting with a delegation from Gulf Engineering led by Dr. Ulrich Salzer at State House Entebbe. Since its foundation in 1988, Gulf has enabled the improvement of the economic and socio-economic framework through the development, planning, and implementation of essential infrastructures on the African continent and worldwide. President Museveni assured government support to ensure that the project is a success. The Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, informed the President that the port at the shores of Lake Victoria shall create a cheaper and faster means of transportation of goods. Emmanuel Winyi Mugamba, the Managing Director of Gulf Consultants Uganda Limited, told the President that the port will have a shipyard, a park for industries, stores, railway and road connections. Mr. Gian Citis, the Project Director for Bukasa Port, told the President that the first phase of the project is almost done, that it included development and the concept, master plan and constructing a link road from Nambole to Bukasa. He added that the remaining work is surcharging and land reclamation at the port to make the port fully functional. Now, the Chabazinga of Busoga, William Gabula Nadiop IV and Queen Jovia Mutesi have rallied Busoga Kingdom subjects to unite for development. This was at an event in Igenge Palace, Ginger City, where Queen Jovia Mutesi was making her first public appearance since her wedding in November last year.
Wed on 18th November 2023, Her Royal Highness Jovia Mutesi has made her first public appearance on Friday 23rd February 2024. Last seen at Igenge Palace in Jinja, she has still appeared from the same place. This cultural appearance was more of redirecting the kingdom, mainly the young generation, on what roles they have to play both at home and in the community. Among those who attended this noble event was the Executive Director, Kampala Capital City Authority, also a daughter of the soil, Dorothy Chisaka, and the Busoga Katwikiro, Joseph Muvawala.
Nga tusomesa omulango ogwo mu kintu kye tuyita akasomero akamaka. Eri obululu binaatera otandika. Oyo naye awulira ntayina kuyisa mu Kyabazinga Gabula by'okwemuna ekitiibwa ava mu by'okwesimbawo kuba bululu banene. Bana tulina abasalula, bana tulina abaniimirira, tulina abafutyanka. Singa kuba nga timuleeta mu Busoga kitiibwa.
Queen Jovia revealed the steps the kingdom is undertaking to spur development among the subjects, with partnerships with government agencies taking the lead.
Omulamwa n'omusingi gwe tulijja okutambulirako gwa kunyweza amaka amasoga. Ekiseera kino akamala mu lubiri luno nfunawo akabumitivu ku bantu ab'enjawulo nga bandezayo zakuba ekyo kigumba kyeyantuusaako mwebale kunsabira.
Georgia is mothering the region which hosts the highest burden of issues ranging from poverty to teenage pregnancy. However, Georgia seems to be ready for the task.
The Royal Chabazinga Royal Scholarship Program. It's a program that is intended to extend training in the areas of tourism and hospitality and other skills to the girl child of Busoga region.
On his part, the Chabazinga of Busoga, His Royal Highness William Gavlan Yupe IV, rallied the kingdom to embrace unity for development. The First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni, extended some gifts to the Queen. This now marks the beginning of her steps out of the palace, and she heads to lead the kingdom as its mother.
Now, Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, has held a decoration ceremony for 22 senior officers and 1 brigadier general promoted recently. The peeping ceremony was graced by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Basumbadi, at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs headquarters in Buea.
The decorated senior officers include 1 brigadier general, 22 colonels, are part of the 395 officers who were promoted on 30th January 2024 by the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Promoted a number of UPDF officers to various ranks, ranging from captain to a brigadier general.
The highest ranked among the decorated officers is Charles Oluka, the Director General of Internal Security Organization ISO, who has been promoted from colonel to the rank of brigadier general. Also promoted are Lieutenant Colonel Emi Katabazi to full colonel, Colonel Joseph Aliganyira, Colonel Patrick Ajiku, Colonel Asim Kibate, and Colonel David Mujua, among others. The Defense Ministry spokesperson, Brigadier General Felix Kraije, urged the promoted officers to embrace the extra responsibility that comes with the new ranks.
So it is written in James chapter 4, verse 10, that humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will promote you. There are occasions when you see others promoted, you begin saying, but why not me? Just be humble, and your time will come.
The Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi, called upon the newly promoted officers to serve with commitment and dedication to the UPDF leadership, further urging them to perform their duties professionally.
That even if you had the potential that you were born with, these courses help you to be sharpened so that you can become more proficient.
He reminded them to prepare for the challenges ahead, adding that these emerging challenges require a strong and resilient UPDF ready to deal with ever-changing dynamics.
Director General of ISO mentioned something, but obviously, whereas we tend to celebrate promotions in light mood, it is worth also to know that they come with a heavier load to account to the country and the institution that recommended you for promotion.
In attendance were the Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Peter Errell, senior officers and spouses of the decorated officers, among others. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Now, in the area of the opposition wing in Parliament, it has considered the fight against corruption as the topmost priority area in the next 2.5 years. The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, has revealed an alternative move to tackle corruption, including extending parliament operations to the grassroots. Senyonyi addressed members of parliament at the launch of the opposition priority areas in Kampala, which also witnessed the swearing in of the recently appointed shadow cabinet.
The occasion to launch the opposition priority areas started with the session for the swearing in of the newly appointed members of the shadow cabinet.
I, Zake Francis, being appointed a shadow cabinet minister for presidency.
And that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
And that I will not directly or indirectly reveal any matter as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy. So help me God.
The members of the opposition wing in Parliament later deliberated on how to increase their visibility while accounting to the electorates. Matthias Mpuga, the former leader of opposition and a member of the Parliamentary Backbench Commissioners, interested the leaders on the challenges within the program-based budgeting being implemented by government.
The ongoing rationalization is anchored on that belief that government structure needs to be streamlined. And we are seeing so many entities being aligned to be taken back to their mother ministries. The big question is, are the ministries themselves functional?
Accordingly, heightening the fight against corruption in Uganda has topped the agenda of what has been derived to be the priority areas of the opposition.
We lose over 10 trillion shillings annually to corruption. According to the Ministry of Health, the cost of constructing and equipping a health center is about 13 billion shillings. Now, these 10 trillion shillings can construct and equip 769 health center annually. But sadly, all of this is stolen by thieves.
Joel Senyonyi, the leader of opposition, deduces the interventions of putting the government in check to, among others, extending the services of parliament to the grassroots.
So that as we say what we have to say on the floor of parliament, like I'm saying, it's not hearsay. So then no one will say, you guys are just politicking. Many Ugandans are being evicted off their land. We are coming to those hotspot areas. Yes, we are coming. Because it's our duty. It's our mandate to keep this government in check.
The opposition plans, as revealed, are an added credit to what the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, always referred the 11th Parliament as people-centred and legislating laws and policies to benefit and protect the common people.
In fact, that is the reason why MPs are facilitated through committees of Parliament and also through the allowances to go back to their constituencies.
So they keep doing this through their oversight activity. This is a general role of the members of Parliament, but it's a core mandate for those in the opposition, ensuring that they monitor how government is spending, how government is fulfilling its mandate. And then you need to, from time to time, ensure that the public is informed.
This can help you to stay intellectually.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Uganda Revenue Authority, through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Directorate of the Citizenship and Immigration Control, is now collecting over 800 million Ugandan shillings daily from the Directorate of Citizens and Immigration Control at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. This surge in revenue is an attribution to the introduction of the e-passport and establishment of more immigration regional offices across the country, significantly enhancing efficiency and serving the public.
This new office in Jinja, the 4th regional office following Bararam, Mbale and Gulu, will handle passport processing and insurance for the locals of Jinja district, catering primarily to the East region. Internal Affairs Ministry Permanent Secretary Lieutenant General Joseph Musanyuf expressed optimism that these regional centers would alleviate bureaucratic and financial challenges for locals who previously had to process passports in Kampala.
Talking of the cost of moving to Mbaro and moving to Kampala. So if you can save this money for yourself, why not? So you don't have to travel. So this office here is fully equipped. It is very efficient and it's professionally staffed. I'm glad to see the staffs, and I was happy to see them as they do their work. So I urge the citizens, I urge Ugandans who are going to use this service not fall prey to the third parties.
The Director of Citizenship and Immigration Department, Major General Aplo Kasita Goa, highlighted the importance of opening more regional offices in easing congestion at the main headquarters in Kampala.
The center is open, like Simone was saying. The center is open, now it is up to us to use it. It's not only for the Wasoga, that we should understand also, like the ones in Gulu and the other places. Not only for the locals, but for everybody who lives there, because appreciated. You don't only have Wasoga here. And you have all these expatriates also working in here. You have Indians, you have Pakistanis, you have Europeans. So the facilities is not only passports, but also the other immigration facilities.
Leadership of Jinja City lauded the government, specifically the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control, for extending crucial services to the people of Jinja.
Why we're doing all this. So thank you very much for doing this. It is a very, very big achievement for us. I am hoping very soon that since USPC is here, that all these other services that you're doing are also able to be delivered in these regional centers.
However, Jacob Simiyu, the Regional Immigration Director, issued a stern warning against corruption among both the public and staff.
Expect any issues of corruption because we have trained our staff, and if we see anyone attempting to extort, we will deal with it using the instruments that are available, security and what. So we do not expect anybody to come here to do brokerage services.
Many Ugandans have embraced this passport application system, and because many Ugandans have applied, so we are able to collect about 800 million shillings on a daily for government of Uganda. And this money is collected by Uganda Revenue Authority, and we are glad to announce that the launch of this Jinja Immigration Office, specifically passport, will even increase the NTR for the government of Uganda.
Locals who have already obtained passports at the newly opened immigration office expressed joy and relief, citing the high costs and inconvenience of traveling to Kampala for passport processing.
Been a very good thing because there we had to wait for the line, then to be applied, someone to ask you a lot of questions. But I'm telling you sincerely, this is so nice.
This expansion marks the 4th regional immigration office in the country, with plans for the next office to be established in Arua for West Nile region. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has committed to work with the Ministry of Education and Sports in enhancing ICT coverage in government schools, while assessing the performance of installed computer laboratories in the Eastern Region schools. State Minister for ICT Joyce Nabusa Sebugwao recognized the urgent need for internet coverage to enable research in these computer laboratories.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance through Uganda Communications Commission installed computer laboratories in government schools with the intention of bolstering ICT coverage and enhance computer literacy.
We had distinctions, about 10 distinctions in ICT because we are even making use of these resources.
You cannot be left alone or behind. You have to work with the technology going on in the world because that's what it is now. Education with the technology will encourage everybody to make sure that you move very, very fast.
During the assessment tour by the Minister of State for ICT, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, in benefited schools in eastern Uganda, it was established that despite establishment of these computer laboratories, internet still hinders research.
And the other bit is that we are not yet connected to the internet. So it is my humble prayer that you also receive that. And then we help the young ones and the teachers to go into research because under the competence-based curriculum, these students require a lot of research.
The internet. We are working on the internet, and very soon it will be, it will be solved. We are still working on it.
Minister commits to working with the Education Ministry in enhancing ICT literacy among school-going children in implementing the new curriculum.
To know how they are assisting you. But the report we have received shows that you are enjoying it and it has improved the performance of your studies. That is very good.
Uganda Military Engineering College is another beneficiary of this program. The college received 60 computers from the Uganda Communications Commission.
Our courses, including civil engineering aided designs, mechanical engineering aided designs, architectural designs, in ICT, telecommunications engineering, computer networking.
The project calls for more investment to attain universal coverage.
Exams, it is a challenge. They cannot be enough for all the students who will be needing the computer accessories to do the exams.
But the challenge is that the numbers are growing bigger every other day, and the front-end computers can't be enough. So we are requesting government to give us more.
I can promise you that with our sector, the UCC, we shall look at it and make sure that you receive more.
The Uganda Communications Universal Service Access Fund UCSAF project seeks to increase access to smart devices for households in poor communities in the unserved and underserved parts, which can help reduce ICT literacy while also contributing to a critical mass usage of ICT and adoption that can bring down the cost of internet. Abdul Nasile Lubwama for UBC.
Now, Bombo Senior Secondary School, the government school located in Bombo Town, near Bombo Military Barracks, has lodged a complaint with the Minister of State for Land, Dr. Sam Mayanja, of a resident who encroached on the school land measuring 2 acres. The school management now wants a compensation from the UPDF for a fence that was allegedly illegally constructed on their land.
It was constructed by the barracks. It also encroached part of the school land, but also went and encroached part of the community land. Where we are going to address the community.
For several years, more than 30 years, they have never received a single aid from government. They suffered in 86, the 86 changes. They didn't get any single aid. Even before that, at Amini Fall in 80, I think 80 over 79, still they suffered. The parents contributed and they rebuilt the school. 8 changes thereafter, they suffered. Now, so they need that assistance to go through. And that is channeled to the Ministry of Education. Number 2, but they are determined, they have kept their school. and many prominent people are candidates here, the LC have gone through the school, number 2. But they need that injection of capital and your support. Number 2, they bought their land to expand their curricular activities, 100 acres. But by the time they went through this turmoil of the 2 revolutions of 1879 and 86, the people had gone on that land, 100 acres. They wanted to repossess that land, but because full Bibanja holders have taken over, we agreed that the RDC is going to work with the school, and they submit a request through me to the Uganda Land Commission for government to purchase that land, and then they use that money for other activities.
Now, religious leaders and politicians have been urged to front issues of national economic development instead of political differences. This advice was given by the head of the Office of the National Chairman, Hajat Hadija Namialo.
Faith of Unity, headed by Obusobozi Bisaka in Kagadi, has celebrated 44 years of existence since inception in 1980. Officiating at the function, the head of the Office of the National Chairman, Hajat Hadija Namialo, thanked the Faith of Unity congregation for support rendered to the ruling National Resistance Movement government. Namialo cautioned religious leaders and politicians that use their platform in presenting differences in the economic development of Ugandans.
Ntingenda kwesimbawo basijja kwesimbawo kubanga enkulaakulana eba mu nsawo yo ng'olabirira famire yo. Tetwagala tuve wano tugambe abantu bagambe nti ate eddiini eno gye bawagire eno si ddiini eno. Bino okwegatta n'okukola n'okuteeka ekintu ky'ozza mu nsawo yo n'okubeera nti
Preaching to his congregation, Obusobozi Bisaka thanked government for freedom of worship.
Abanywanyi baitu abanyayuganda hamu n'abaikiriza obumu itwena hamu tugonza President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni habw'ensonga habw'okuba abantu emyaka eyabaireho endemezi abaireho NRA oba NRM etakayizire mu bwebembezi President atakayizire hakabaho endema obulemi obwali butali bulungi.
Bisaka says that the Faith of Unity is in existence due to the peace and stability brought by the NRM.
Baitu kuga President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yayizire mu bwebembezi bw'ihanga lino abantu batunga obusinge nikyo mukola nekyo kya hati tuli hano habw'okuba obusinge buroho.
The Office of the National Chairman donated a number of items to be used by the congregation. Lydia Chomkama, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
The Ministry of Health has expressed concerns over the decline in the number of people washing their hands compared to the previous years, especially during the COVID-19 period. Now, this sloppiness by the general public is now threatening to increase the spread of cholera and other diseases.
In 2017, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with civil society organizations, launched a hand wash campaign with the aim of helping communities, especially in districts of Buyende, Kamoli and Kibuku, to improve on their sanitation. during the 6 years of the program. Ministry of Health and partner NGOs acknowledge improved health conditions in the visited communities.
I've seen some improvements in sanitation in the program areas, some achievements in access to safe water, and some achievements in hand hygiene. So we want to see some of these successes going forward.
The WASH SDG program has basically achieved its targets that it set in place in the inception phase in 2018. By 2023, most of the targets have been realized. Some have been nearly met in water, sanitation and hygiene.
Speaking at the closing of this campaign, the Commissioner for Health Services and Environment at the Ministry of Health, Herbert Nabasa, said the program succeeded, but cautioned Ugandans on declining hand wash trends, which may attract diseases like cholera.
However, at the end of COVID, we saw a decline in the, for instance, hand hygiene and also sanitation practices. The ministry is working directly with our development partners and local governments to increase public awareness. We are developing a number of strategies to see that we don't decline.
All the districts where the program has been implemented, in Agago, the populations have moved from open defecation. There's been a reduction in the proportion of people.
Nabasa says the Ministry of Health, with support from the partners, will try to increase awareness about hygiene to ensure that all Ugandans are free from preventable diseases.
Actually, when you improve wash, access to safe water, proper hygiene, hand hygiene, and proper sanitation, we shouldn't see many of these cholera outbreaks happening. And so it's a message for us to take it very, very serious.
Of course, the pragmatic achievements, we have significant increases in terms of access to sanitation, where we are seeing in these 3 districts, we are seeing an increase of 67% of people accessing sanitation at basic level.
Civil society organizations including Plan International, WASH Alliance International, and the Netherlands government were the main implementers of this program. Joseph Muyungo compiled the story.
A 100 billion shillings nutrition project has been launched in Karamoja sub-region. The 5-year project is aimed at improving nutrition among the poorest and the most marginalized, especially women, adolescent girls and children in the districts of Moroto, Nabilatuk and Nakapiripiret.
Districts of Moroto, Nabilatuk and Nakapiripiret are set to benefit from the newly funded nutrition project. The project is targeted at improvement of nutrition among the poorest and most marginalized, especially women, adolescent girls and children in the districts of Moroto, Nabilatuk and Nakapiripiret. The districts in question in Karamoja sub-region face seasonal food shortages and continuous scarcities that contribute to acute malnutrition and high rates of stunting among adolescents. Children under 5 years, the elderly and pregnant mothers are the most affected by malnutrition and stunted growth. It is against this backdrop that a 5-year project of gender equitable nutrition in Tanzania and Uganda has been launched in Karamoja.
I declare the Gender Project launched.
The project is funded by Global Affairs Canada and implemented by Action Against Hunger in Karamoja Women Umbrella Organization. Rita Kapanyoro is the country director at Action Against Hunger.
Strengthening food security. And in this we will support sustainable climate-smart agriculture. Karamoja has very harsh climate conditions, as I mentioned earlier. But we as Action Against Hunger and the partners, many of you who are in this room, want to prove that it is possible to eliminate hunger.
Action Against Hunger is going to work with community leaders to address norms and practices that cause malnutrition in homes.
With the nutritional needs of at household level. So if this woman is not equipped with the knowledge and the skills they need, then the entire household suffers. Secondly, we will be promoting gender equality. We intend to...
The principal nutritionist at the Ministry of Health, Grace Ocheng, who represented the State Minister for Primary Health Care, launched their 100 billion project at an event in Moroto district.
We recognize that women play a pivotal role in the well-being of our families and communities. Empowering women is not just a moral imperative, it is an investment in the future.
She urged development partners to work with district health officials at the facilities and warned against mismanagement of the project. She says government plans to streamline ready-packed food to solve the problem of malnutrition among children.
I realize that there are so many partners bringing in the ready-to-use therapeutic foods, and we are moving in a very uncoordinated manner. So in order for us to avoid the uncoordinated troop movement, at the ministry we're trying to streamline this.
Mariana Wari and Maureen Yiga for UBC.
And in the religious fraternity, the chairman House of Clergy, Church of Uganda, Reverend Canon Godfrey Byarugaba, has called upon Christians to embrace the forthcoming benchmarking agricultural tour slated for the upcoming approach. Yeah, so that basically farmers can embrace the Dutch agricultural approach to advance their farming in Uganda.
Netherlands is one of the countries leading in sustainable agriculture through use of farming techniques to optimize agriculture production. To boost sustainable farming amongst farmers in Uganda, the Anglican Church of Uganda has organized a benchmarking tour to the Netherlands farms.
Uganda, as you know, is an agricultural country, gifted with soils and wonderful climate that is good enough for agriculture. But it is unfortunate that much as we are gifted by nature, but rarely we are gifted by God, some of times we don't have enough food.
Chairman, House of Clergy, Church of Uganda, Reverend Canon Godfrey Byarugaba, says the tour is intended to equip Ugandan farmers with modern farming knowledge for improved yields.
We're going to see and to learn and to ask questions and to observe about how these Dutch people do it, and then in turn bring this knowledge and know-how to our Ugandan situation, so that we practice ourselves on our individual farm holdings, but also, and more especially, help others who are part of our flock.
The tourists will get a chance to learn how to apply modern technology used by the Dutch in enhancing production and preserving their harvests.
Sometimes we live in limitations, and yet with knowledge and basic connections and a challenge and the right motivation and challenge, we can change the conditions in which we live. We feed better, we have enough, even we can have enough for sale, and removing poverty from our households.
The tour, organized by the church and supported by Hallelujah Tours, will empower farmers on dynamics of agriculture.
Here we shall be looking at the dairy farm, we shall look at the goat farming, fruit factories, flowers, many.
The agriculture benchmarking tour to the Netherlands is slated for May 2024.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Hi, my name is Dennis Masindo Nyango, former Uganda Cranes captain and goalkeeper. My kind of a tank at home is a Crest tank. I use it at the farm and at home. I recommend it for everyone.
How to use the EIPP. Welcome to the Electronic Investors and Protection Portal, your guide to seamless investment processes in Uganda. Step 1. Navigate to the portal. Start by searching protection.statehouseinvest.go.ug. On Google, use the menu bar for various tasks. Step 2. Submitting a complaint. To lodge a complaint, click Report. Fill out the form, submit and note your reference number. Step 3. Making an inquiry. For inquiries, select Inquiry. Complete the form, submit and record your reference number. Step 4. Whistleblowing. To report anonymously, choose Whistleblow, fill the form and submit. Step 5. Accessing FAQs. Find the answers to the common questions under the FAQs link. Step 6. Seeking information. For investment cycle guidance, hover over Resources, click Resources Center and explore. Step 7. Exploring services. Hover over Services for stakeholder offerings like business registration. Step 8. Tracking progress. To track submissions, click Report, select Track Inquiry or Complaint. Enter your reference number and check your email for updates. Need more help? Call +256 326 100 630 or email info@statehouseinvest.go.ug.
Welcome back as we step into the world of business. Equity Bank has announced that it will be managing a results-based financial fund to capitalize Ugandan renewable energy SMEs. Let's hear more from Arnold Wadula.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we have actually won a commercial financial institution for this project.
GIZ and NDEV's funding through this results-based financing scheme finds Uganda harnessing its momentum to become a low-carbon emitting nation.
The agreement we are in now with Equity Bank is up to 2025, so that's 2 years. The time you will have for implementation as a private sector partner will entirely depend on when your service agreement is signed.
Equity Bank has been given the mandate to manage the fund as it awards interested businesses that sell renewable cooking and solar devices get a financial boost.
Once you get credit for the first time, you manage it well, you should be able to come back for credit the next time. And that's how businesses grow world over, credit.
COP28 has given its members up to 2030 to raise renewable energy utilization to 80%.
We were recently, as a bank, at the COP28 accredited under the Global Climate Fund, which was a very, very, very big milestone for us. And we're looking forward to participating in all those programs.
This means Uganda and its partner members in the international agreement have only 6 years to transition their energy dependency to more sustainable means.
We also revised our NDC, the national determined contributions as a country, and made them even more ambitious. Now we target to reduce our emissions by 24.7% from the business as usual.
Small businesses in Uganda with evidence of audited sales are hereby encouraged to apply for the debt-free capital through Equity Bank. Companies with good sales and acceptable government compliance stand to receive a substantial boost. Wadulo Mark Arnold for UBC Business.
Well, thank you very much there, Wadulo Mark Arnold. Now it's our time to get back to the financial markets to assess and see how the money markets and the stock markets are performing today. As we start off with the forex market, as you can see, the US dollar continues to surge against the shilling, almost entering into the mark of 4,000 shillings, as you can see there. And the performance there on the Ugandan shillings is on a dwindle side. And of course, we hope that this shouldn't escalate into the 4,000 mark. Now, on the stock market, as we look, the telecommunication companies have dominated with 30 deals exchanging hands on the counter. We've seen low performance there on different counters, but having MTN and Womeme, dominating the counter there and trading quite well on the stock market. We know that price movements really determine a lot in terms of activity on the counter. We see turnover there at 34.2 million shillings and with 344 shares exchanging hands. Like I said, MTN took the lead with 18.2 million and Womeme came second with 7.9 million Ugandan shillings. And the shares, as you can see, vice versa.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erunganisibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
I am the chairperson of this group that got money. The group is called Kalsandala HIV/AIDS Crafts Women Group. UWEP gave us money in 2017 and they gave us 3.3 million Ugandan shillings. We used it in 1 year and got 23 million out of it. We do baskets and kitchen gardens and we also have a saving group. We thank UWEP because this money helped us as women. Women can now educate their children and build houses because many of them are single mothers. We work without jealousy because we want to leave a legacy that even those who will be around tomorrow will appreciate.
Let's step into the world of sports, where the visiting Federation of the International Gymnastics President Morinari Watanabe has promised to help Uganda elevate the sport to competitive levels that will position it towards Olympics representation.
Uganda will next week host the Federation of International Gymnastics Executive Board meeting that will have delegates from more than 30 countries, headlined by the international body's president, Morinari Watanabe.
I have my sister and my brother. That means, Uganda is my second country. So that their athlete is my athlete. Their athlete, their children is my children. I want support for the Uganda athlete who like the sports.
Uganda Olympic Committee President Donald Rukare believes such visits by high-profile international federation delegates will highlight Uganda as a prowess that must, however, embark on programs to grow the sport. During his stay, the visiting Federation of International Gymnastics President will tour some of Uganda's gymnastics centers and preside over the gymnastics festival at the MTN Arena Lugogo.
FIG wants to grow gymnastics all over the world, not only in developed countries, but also in developing countries and other new countries that are not yet affiliates of FIG. So Uganda has stood a chance this time to host this meeting, and we are very privileged that with this meeting, FIG will get to understand the needs of us as Ugandans, because we are a developing country and majority of the FIG leaders come from very developed countries, and everything is usually set and organized in terms of facilities, in terms of equipment and the environment where people train from.
Uganda's gymnastics is mainly school-centered, with most international schools embracing the sport that is also played in institutions like police and the army.
Again, that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for sticking with us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mugalu Mohammed has been with us on sign language, Margaret Kabagweri behind the scenes on camera, and the entire news team. We say good night, but UBC TV continues with the programming.
Very good evening. Welcome once again to our daily weather forecast from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority. I'm Jasper Ainebina. Most of us could have noticed a drastic increase in temperatures across our country, and these are due to the dry spells that are being experienced. Therefore, we are advising the public to always pack enough foods for the ongoing school children, and also those going to their places of work to pack enough foods to avoid dehydration. For the satellite capture today, we have a tropical cyclone called Elena that has sucked the moisture content from our country, and for the light rains being experienced are due to the local effects, especially from Lake Victoria Basin. Therefore, tomorrow morning we are anticipating light rains across Kampala, and the rest partly cloudy conditions are expected. Eastern parts of the country, chances of sunny intervals across Sooti, and the rest partly cloudy conditions are expected across Jinja and Toro. For the western parts of the country, partly cloudy conditions are expected, apart from Masindi, where we shall see sunny intervals that are likely to prevail. Northern parts of the country, chances of sunny intervals to persist. And later in the afternoon, we are likely to see Kampala with a partly cloudy conditions with a high of 30 degrees Celsius, which is a little bit hot there. And in Mbende, 31 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy conditions. While in Nakasongola, it's hot with a high of 32 degrees Celsius, sunny intervals to prevail. Eastern parts of the country, chances of sunny intervals across Sooti with a high of 34 degrees Celsius, and in Jinja 32 degrees Celsius, while Toro also 32 degrees Celsius, sunny intervals to persist. Western parts of the country, some light rains across Barra with a high of 30 degrees Celsius. It's still hot there. And in Kasese, 32 degrees Celsius. While Kigezi Highlands, light rains are expected with a high of 26 degrees Celsius. And in Masindi, sunny intervals are expected with a high of 33 degrees Celsius. Northern parts of the country, temperatures are likely to go up to 34 degrees Celsius across Kitugum, while in Kotido also 34 degrees Celsius, and in Lila, sunny intervals expected with a high of 33 degrees Celsius. Across the globe, chances of sunny intervals across Cairo, especially with a high of 23 degrees Celsius, and in Dubai, sunny intervals expected with a high of 25 degrees Celsius, while in London, 9 degrees Celsius are expected. Partly cloudy conditions that are likely to prevail. Thank you so much for watching our daily weather forecast. For more information, we'll be communicating. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to UBC. Good evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.